In today's video, I'm going to consider your fat loss potential in depth. Hey there, Jerome with Exalted Vigor Athletics. So I've talked a lot about your fat loss potential in regards to your hormones and your fat loss goals. However, I want to take the opportunity to talk about your fat loss potential and transitioning between fat loss protocols that are more representative of your fat loss potential and don't unnecessarily sacrifice your hard-earned muscle. Now, before getting started, I want to mention the freebie that comes with this video, which is Accelerated Fat Loss 101. This freebie ebook is designed to give you the tools you need to master your fat loss goals at an expedited rate. One of the fundamentals for losing fat is being in a caloric deficit. However, as you lean out, your body's resistance to fat loss will increase. If you recall from the last AFL post, your leptin levels will naturally decrease as your body fat decreases. This means that your fat loss potential is going to decrease as your body fat goes down as well. It's for this very reason that your caloric deficit should not be a static variable and should vary as you follow through your fat loss program. Yet, that being said, an overweight individual does not need to worry as much about varying their caloric deficit because their body's resistance to fat loss has not yet been developed, and they won't suffer from the consequences that a lean individual might have. Instead, an overweight individual should worry about staying in a caloric deficit and providing their body with some semi-regular dietary reprieve until they reach a healthy or fit body fat percentage. And P.S., when I say a healthy or fit body fat percentage, I generally mean for women about 26% body fat and for men about 20% body fat. And again, I must emphasize, once you work your way down to a healthy or fit body fat percentage, the demand for you having a variable caloric deficit is going to increase substantially. Now, it's for this very reason that I created the 4 EVA fat loss protocols. These 4 protocols are designed to help you lose fat at an accelerated rate that's also safe and protects your hard-earned muscle. And each protocol is going to vary in deficit strength and have a slightly different fat loss goal. For example, accelerated fat loss, or AFL, is geared towards those that want to lose fat as quickly as possible, whereas SFL, or slow fat loss, is geared towards competitors or very lean individuals that still want to lose fat but not sacrifice hard-earned muscle or nearing their competitions. I do want to forewarn you that if you choose a fat loss protocol that is too aggressive for your current physique, your body will not become magically overly gracious with fat loss. Rather, your overeagerness will come at the expense of your hard-earned muscle. One of the best ways to make sure that you aren't losing your muscle while you're following a fat loss program is to set benchmarks before you get started. And these benchmarks can come as far as weight lifted, reps performed, time for a certain interval. But what you have to make sure to do is to either match or beat these benchmarks throughout your fat loss program. If your strength levels decrease significantly throughout your fat loss program, it's going to be a great indication that you're actually losing muscle rather than fat. And additionally, if you don't actually know your body fat percentage and don't have an easy access to actually figure it out, you can use a visual representation to kind of guesstimate your body fat percentage, and that should more or less help you determine which fat loss protocol is going to be best for you. Now I want to move on to the 4 fat loss protocols, and I'm going to start with accelerated fat loss, or AFL. Accelerated fat loss is great for someone who really just wants to lose fat as quickly as possible. So a few guidelines is you're really concerned with losing fat quickly as possible, you're not as concerned with muscular retention or performing in the gym, and another guideline is that you're going to be a male that is above 16% body fat or a female that's above 22% body fat. Now, to employ an AFL protocol, you want to eat at about 60% of your maintenance caloric intake. For example, if your maintenance caloric intake is about 2,000 calories, then on average you want to have about 1,200 calories daily. Now moving on to moderately accelerated fat loss, or MAFL. MAFL is a great protocol for those that still want to lose fat at an accelerated rate, yet want to have a bit more dietary freedom. This means you can have a few more treats in your diet and you don't have to be as stringent or strict with what you're eating. Which a good guideline would be a male that's going to be between 12 and 16% body fat, or a female that's between 18 and 22% body fat. Now, to employ an MAFL protocol, you want to eat at 70% of your maintenance caloric intake. which for a 2,000 calorie diet means you want to consume on average 1,400 calories per day. Now moving on to moderate fat loss, or MFL. Moderate fat loss is a great compromise for those that are concerned with muscular retention but still want to lose fat at a decent rate. So a great MFL candidate, a male between 10 to 12% body fat, or a female is going to be between 16 and 18% body fat. Now, to employ an MFL protocol, you're going to want to eat at about 80% of your maintenance caloric intake, which for a 2,000 calorie diet means on average you want to eat at about 1,600 calories per day. And last but not least, SFL, or slow fat loss. SFL is going to provide your physique with the icing on the cake. So it's really for athletic or lean muscular builds that want to improve their muscular definition to that next level. So men that are below 10% body fat and women that are below 16% body fat are going to be great indications that you should be following an SFL protocol, because if you're more aggressive than this, then you are more bound and more likely to lose your hard-earned muscle. So a great candidate for SFL would be someone who's very lean and athletically built and wants to, take that physique to the next level, or a physique or weightlifting competitor that's nearing their competition date and still wants to improve their physique or go below their competition weight, but not do so at the expense of their performance or their look on stage. Now, to employ an SFL protocol, you want to eat at 90% of your maintenance caloric intake, which for a 2,000 calorie diet means on average you want to consume about 1,800 calories per day. Wrapping up, remember, your fat loss will decrease the leaner and leaner you get. As a result, varying your caloric deficit to be more representative of your fat loss potential is going to be significantly more important as you start leaning out. If you recall, your free copy of Accelerated Fat Loss can be found in the description below. Like our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want regular updates on when we produce new content. I want to wish you the best of luck finding a protocol that's going to be representative of your current physique and your fat loss goals as well, so you can lose fat at an accelerated rate but not sacrifice your hard-earned muscle in order to do so. And that's all for today's video. I will see you in the next one.